incentives. These are spirit guide messages. Some of these incoming messages are from guardian angels, and some are from your spirit guides. So I'm getting a Leo, and continuing with the spreads that I've begun, a Leo in Canada. And your spirit guide wants you to know that there's a message tied to a blessing and an experience where you did have some emotional upheaval. There's also a message coming in to a Sagittarius in Washington. And your spirit guide wants you to know that there's a message tied to a blessing and an experience where you've been optimistic. I'm also getting a message for an Aries in Oregon. Your spirit guide wants you to know that there's a message tied to a blessing and an experience where you've been seeking some truth, you've found some truth, and you're walking away from something that's detrimental to you, something or someone. There's also a Libra. I'm getting a message for a Libra. This Libra is in California. You have been delayed in receiving some news. However, with this incoming news, your spirit guide wants you to know that there's a message tied to a blessing in experiencing this news and obtaining this news that you're going to get. And Aquarius in Nevada. This is for you. This card is popping out. And what your spirit guide wants you to know is that there's a message tied to a blessing and an experience where there's teamwork going into something. So you have some other people who you're helping and they're helping you. And that's where it's all coming in for you, this blessing. For a Gemini in Idaho, the message from your spirit guide is that they want you to know, all of them want you to know that there's a message tied to a blessing and an experience where you feel that you're growing spiritually. You're connecting with some knowledge that's coming in. This could be religious. This could also be some educational knowledge for some of you. And for some of you, you're gaining some political ground, and this is all a blessing that's coming in for you. Scorpio, there's a Scorpio in Montana. And what your spirit guide wants you to know is that there's a message tied to a blessing and an experience of celebration. So this is something that happens this could be a web party, this could be an actual anniversary birthday, or some other get together, and it's a safe get together, and there's a blessing again that's tied to this experience of celebration. You could be celebrating someone else's success or your own success, and that is what's coming in with you. There is a Pisces in Utah, and what's coming in for you is that your spirit guide wants you to know that there's a message tied to a blessing and an experience where you shared with someone or they've shared with you. Capricorn, there's a Capricorn in Arizona, and this is a message coming in for you. There's an opportunity that you will have the chance to take And your spirit guide wants you to know that there's a message tied to a blessing in the experience of taking on that challenge and that opportunity that you're being blessed with. There's a Taurus in Colorado, and this message is coming in for you. Your spirit guide wants you to know that there's a message tied to a blessing in an experience that comes about after some restless nights that you've had. There's a new rainbow coming up over that experience. There's also a Virgo in New Mexico. And your spirit guide's message to you is coming in as them wanting you to know that there's a message tied to a blessing and an experience of recognition where you recognize someone, or someone recognizes you in a big way for your desires, for your goals, or for something that you've done and you've taken some positive steps towards this particular thing. And these are the messages that are incoming. Here is a Scorpio in Montana, and your spirit guide wants you to know that there's a message that's tied to a blessing in the form of an experience that you have when you make a choice that you have upcoming. A very important choice it is. There's also a Cancer in Hawaii. And I want you to know that your spirit guide would like for you to know that there is a very special message that's tied to a blessing in an experience that you gain as a result of stepping out in hope. Hey, I see you there. Thanks for coming in to the live. How are you? Kalia Simone. Great to see you here. Great to see you as well. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys have any questions, I think I'll take this moment to take a couple of questions before exiting the live. I'm well. Thank you for asking. Hello. Hello. Hi. How are you? To the water sign. I'm pleased that you could be here today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining the chat. I'm glad that I can present this valuable service and chit chat with you guys, touch bases. Hello, 13 Louis. You make music. You're a bit lost in life. Only 19, but you feel a little behind. Clarity in regards to music. What is going to be the most helpful musically for this musically inclined young person? What is the advice coming in? So if you want to really elaborate in some way and turn something that was a little bit tragic into something that is healing musically, since you're inclined to do that, the spread that's incoming is saying move forwards and allowing music to continue to be your therapy. If that's what you've been doing, there is some sort of tragic event or something that you can pour into music, and other people are going to connect in regards to that, and they're really going to want to listen to the music because they're going to experience a form of healing and really feeling like they connect to you as well. Just continue moving forwards courageously when it comes to music. Continue putting your deepest emotions into music. And also, there is going to be a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo who is going to want to put forth some efforts in helping you to succeed when it comes to something having to do with music, something that is going to take your imagination and help it to continue to soar when it comes to music. Also, there was a rough patch that you may have gone through where you felt a little bit lost, when it began, but right now you're in the midst of a more positive time where you have begun to be in a safer space when it comes to being able to fully put something into motion. Your talent is in a good place right now. This is a less rocky time period that you're heading towards, that you're actually in right now. So this is the perfect time for you to start working on something new. Work on something that's bold too. There's something very bold. It's something that could start a trend in music, in fact. You have something new and inventive. It's like an inventive sound or an inventive look or something along those lines that is going to take off for you. What other advice is coming in here? You are improving. The more you're working on your sound, it's just getting better and better. I'm getting that it was good from the get-go. It's just getting even better vocally, musically. There's a maturity that's coming in as well. So just don't give in to any disappointments along the way. Continue to hang in there. Anything that you did feel a little bit disappointed in regards to the industry, you can move past that. Just as the realist that I'm feeling that you are. I'm getting that you've made some sacrifice along the way musically, or someone who has been like kind of like downplaying music to a certain degree. However, like I said, you're just getting better. The more you do it, the more you put into it. Even if you feel some sort of conflicts within or with others, you can pour that into your music as well. And that is going to contribute to your success within that field. You're very bold, and you can continue to allow that to come through in your music. That's where you're going to experience less of a sense of feeling lost. Something that you're boldly called to do, just continue to do that. That's the advice that's coming in here. You're welcome. Okay, about your job and your ex. The job. And the ex. So for the job, it's worth hanging on to. It is creating some balance in your world right now. If you can't see it, that's all right. It's going to become evident as you move along. Also, with the job, there is abundance coming in, power that's coming in, heroism, seasons, and a cycle of life vibe that's coming in with the job. So all that's working out in your favor. And when it comes to the ex, this is showing that there was some misunderstanding, quite possibly. This is also showing that your ex could actually be more of an enemy at this point. And there's some incoming news that's going to be coming in about this ex. This is rapid, rapido is coming in. There is an air of sexuality that's very strong, and then there's someone who's grappling with peace. There is some divine inspiration that is coming in with this situation with this ex as well. So even if there was error or an enemy type of vibe where someone wasn't really having someone else's best interest in mind here, and this is something that could also be incoming if this is something that you're unaware of, this is incoming information here. There's still on top of that room for divine inspiration there. Peace can be obtained as well in the end. There is a vibe of sexuality still there, so perhaps this person still feels somewhat attracted, or either you feel somewhat attracted to this person. However, I can't ignore this vibe here, which it could stand for, like I said, someone having some animosity there or dealing with an enemy. So that could be what is really taking over that person's existence right now. So that could be where their head is at, or that could be the vibe that they're giving off, as well as this still latent attraction. So hang in there with the job by all means. You're welcome. You're welcome, my love. I appreciate you guys as well. Stay blessed.